Okay, so we're going to look at body assessments. Now, the body assessments are really important. We want to measure height because generally speaking, people grow after they've had a raindrop. And the reason that they grow is you've caused the back and the spine to relax so much that the vertebrae just naturally want to realign themselves. So when we measure their height, it's really important that we don't use a clipboard because it can tilt, right? And you cannot get an accurate measurement. I'm going to use a tissue box. When I'm at home, sometimes I use a phone case if I can't find my tissue box. But effectively, you want something that's got like a right angle so that when you are sliding it across the top of their head like this, against the wall, you ask your client to just step away for me, please, Jen. Whoops, come back, because I moved. We'll try that again. Okay, going over just a touch. Fantastic. And excellent. Step away for me, Jen. And then I'm just going to make a little line there. And what I do is I tend to write a B and the number 4, whatever the person's name is. In this case, it's Jen. And that's their before measurement. And then, of course, after their raindrop, we would measure them again. And you'll usually see anywhere between a couple of mils. I think the record is 27 mils, so 2.7 centimetres of growth. The taller the person, usually the less growth, and the shorter the person, the most growth. So it sustains itself. That height sustains for about 10 days. Okay, so you can imagine the way the body functions after that, all that inflammation being released and just being, the back being more flexible, the back being more relaxed. It just takes so much tension out of people's body. It's really awesome. So the next thing I'm going to show you is the hips and shoulders. So turning around for me, Jen. When we measure hips, we want to actually just place our hands flat. You can rest the heels of your hands down on their shoulders, just so long as you can kind of make a right angle with your thumbs. And what we're looking for is, do the tips of the thumbs line up together? They do, okay? Some people will look like this, they'll be really out, and some people will just be slight, but Jen's shoulders are fairly level. Okay, and then we just let them know, because we are standing behind them, it's really important that we sort of just say, okay, I'm just going to place my hands on your hips, because permission and boundaries is really important. So Jen, I'm just going to place my hands on your hips, and then I'm just going to find her hip bone, and I'm just going to squeeze in a little bit there. And I can see that her left hip is just slightly raised. Now, I happen to know that that distance on me is exactly 1 centimetre, so that means that Jen's hips are out by 1 centimetre on the left side. How I'm going to mark that on the log session, you can turn around now, thanks Jen. How I'm going to mark that on the log session is I would actually put an arrow up on the right hip and I would write 1 centimetre next to it, because I just happen to know that that's the distance. But you know, you can estimate. People aren't generally out more than 1 centimetre in their shoulders and their hips anyway, unless they have some sort of spinal issue, and then obviously you may see some variances in that, all right? So height first. Now we do these body measurements after we've done the skin test, because it buys that, it sort of uses up that 5-minute waiting time where you're waiting to see if they've had a skin sensitivity. So you want to do height first, then your shoulders, then your hips, and from that you'll look at leg length and pelvic rotation. Really important note, guys, and I'm speaking from personal experience. When I had a raindrop recently, a couple months ago, I hadn't had one for a very long time, and my back was out, my shoulders were out, my hips were out, my ankle length was all over the place, and I felt amazing after I got off the table. I slept really well that night, and the next day I actually had trouble walking, and it was 12 hours from when I woke. And it was almost like to the minute that I had finished receiving my raindrop the day before. So a full 24 hours had passed, but I was in pain that next day quite a lot. I found it difficult to stand. I had a lot of aching in my hips, a lot of aching in my lower back, and it was because I had gone through a massive realignment. So one of the reasons we encourage you as practitioners to look at those body assessments is because we want you to help a client understand why they would feel achy after having a raindrop technique. It's that powerful in the way that it can realign the body. All right, so that's an observation that you can share with them if they don't have anything that's really out. Shoulders are level, hips are level, ankle length is good, pelvic rotation appears to be somewhat normal, it's not overextended or anything like that, then they're not going to feel any real aches or pains afterwards. They're just going to feel very energised the following day. But it's good for you to know how long it lasts. So in my personal experience, it's no more than sort of 12 hours. It was a 24-hour period, but I slept. So, I didn't notice any pain while I was asleep, but as soon as I got up, I felt like an 80-year-old woman, and Jen was laughing at me. But I knew why it was happening. That was the difference. And as soon as that 24-hour point came in time, it was like someone had flicked a switch in my body, and it had finished doing its job, and I was good to go and full of beans in life. So yeah, good thing for you guys to notice. And it's the reason that we take body assessments, because Raindrop is the massage, the way we pull the muscles, the VitaFlex, all of those things are all about supporting the natural equilibrium of the body.